the system is failing. We're going to have more homelessness, more unemployment, and the government has to print more money. It's a command and control economy where the government tells you everything. I just don't trust our government. And they're going to have to start printing pretty quickly. And the more they print, the less value, purchasing power the dollar has, or the loonie, or the yen, or the peso. People are talking about inflation. I think we're in depression right now, and we're going to be the biggest depression in world history.
In the 1970s, that's when the world was changing.
The biggest bust in the history of the world is coming up. It's pensions. They trusted the government. They trusted their pension would be there, and it's going to go bust. And that's us. We'd get crushed.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. This is the Bearable Bull here. And I got this aggressively average content for you today. As man, oh man, we have one hell of a chart analyst giving his 2 cents on where he believes the XRP price can go. This is eGrag Crypto talking about a potential $80 price target, which I believe is not far-fetched or even close to out of the equation. I believe this $80+ mark is definitely achievable, and it has been discussed as being a potential in an XRP supercycle. He states, if my thesis or candle count is rhyming with current price action of XRP, and if historical price action will rhyme again, then the XRP targets come as follow: 60 cents, then back down to 22 cents, then up to $1.20, then to $3, then to $13, then to $60, and then to $80. The way he came up with this analysis and these price targets are based on historical fractal analysis from 2015 all the way to the bull run of 2017. Right here on the screen, he took the 21st candle, which is apparently exactly where we are in this current cycle for XRP right now. And he's showing how if this repeats, if the past pattern repeats again with today's prices, it'll reach a topping price of $82, with a bull run that'll also have a high right before that of around $13. You see, a lot of people believe this $13 XRP price is very realistic due to the fact that this price would be XRP's full 4236 Fibonacci extension. However, the $80 price is something I am keeping on the back of my mind, because these prices would definitely be coinciding with increased utility and increased clarity. And at that point, there would be nothing holding XRP back. And I would be a big believer in monumental values coming shortly thereafter. We have to remember that from now 2023 into 2025 is where the accelerated rollout of ISO, central bank digital currencies, real-time gross settlement systems, and the whole digitization of the planet is taking place. We all see that 2023 is the year they're trying to bring out AI and automation. That's going to make a lot of people lose their jobs, meaning universal basic income will be coming back to the table in short order. And there will be no better way of executing that system than with central bank digital currency direct deposits from your bank account directly with the Federal Reserve. This is going to take place internationally first, and then it's coming to the United States. In addition, to further confirm that XRP's price has a very real shot at going astronomical here in 2023, Bob Way, one of Ripple's original 10 employees, stated, "I'm thinking something will be finalized soon, and it seems crazy for the SEC not to settle this case, especially with the current contrast with FTX. Ripple had 10 years of building value and has had no victims. FTX incompetence, fraud, and a puff of smoke. Yet Ripple's being sued. Bob Way doesn't come out of nowhere and preach nonsense. He gives his rational, grounded opinions, and you better believe him when he says something is around the corner. Now, something else that needs to be taken into account by Charles Gasparino, who's definitely been making headlines in the XRP community recently, is that if the SEC prevails against Ripple in the form of more regulations and oversight, this will impact nearly every sector, including exchanges. And this will give Gary Gensler's desire to force regulation of every coin other than Bitcoin. This will be a nightmare scenario and a bloodbath for the whole crypto space. And this is what this is intended to mean. Even if you're a Bitcoin maxi, even if you hate XRP, you better pray Ripple wins this case. Or at the very least, has a favorable ruling. Because if they don't, in any way, shape, or form, that will be horrendous for every other crypto in existence. Don't believe it, it's still true. You better pray Ripple gets a favorable ruling. Now, when we look at the macro very quickly, we need to understand that tomorrow there will be the CPI data coming out. Inflation has been calming down a little bit, but what you need to understand is interest rate hikes are suspected to pause or at the very least slow down to maximum a 25-point rate hike. However, the word pivot has been something coming out of my mouth and out of many other economists' mouth for a long time now. People are speculating on when the pivot is going to happen, and the reason why is because a Fed pivot directly correlates with a massive stock market crash. Despite the fact that a Fed pivot means inflation will begin ramping up again, the money printer will continue to go burr, and that will be great for asset prices, commodities, etc. Historically, it is shown that a crash does follow a Fed pivot. Inflation will be good for the value of digital assets, but regulation at the same time will wipe out 99% of crypto. Regulation is coming in 2023 into 2024. These will be positive for only regulatory compliant tokens, tokens looking to work the system, work with the system, and not be conducive to fraud. These are all things you need to take note of. These are things you have to take into account. 2023 is going to be a volatile year. A lot of negatives are going to come into our lives. But I believe XRP will have a monumental year this year, as the signs are pointing positively for upside in our direction. Now, ladies and gentlemen, with that being said, to cap off this video for today, I'm going to leave you with this bombshell of a perspective builder. I genuinely believe, after the recent launch of the Flare network, all of you should begin considering FOMOing into the Flare network token. Yes, despite the massive price drop in Flare from the IOU price to the price we see today, I believe it's extremely undervalued, but will be conducive to the biggest wealth generating opportunity that we have ever seen. XRP plus Flare plus delegation plus F assets will be a Goliath. And something tells me you guys won't regret it if you start purchasing the Flare token now. Right now we only received 15% of the total Flare tokens we were supposed to originally get. But I believe that this vote will pass that will make the other remaining 85% available to those people that are buying the Flare token now. Even if you didn't get an airdrop, if someone sold and you're buying Flare tokens now at this extremely cheap price, you're entitled to that remaining 85%. And who knows how these ratios are actually really going to play out in practice. Ladies and gentlemen, that's an opportunity of a lifetime. And while little boys and little children are bitching about price, the grown-ass men and women in this community will step up to the opportunity of taking a chance on a generational wealth builder. XRP and Flair, I believe, will be a tag team to see. And you better believe I'll get here every single day and tell every single one of you that you're in the right place. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the Bearable Bull here. Thanks for tuning in. As always, I appreciate every single one of you. Now I'll be back tomorrow with another video.
Why do I hold XRP? Because Ripple's the chosen one to lead the new global digital payment system, and they use XRP. In 2013, the Federal Reserve began looking for faster payments options. 2 years later, an action plan was born and a federal payments task force was created. It included one company focused on crypto, Ripple. In 2014, the World Bank and Better Than Cash Alliance, which includes the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, Clinton Global Initiative, and the governments of 32 countries, put out a report called The Opportunities of Digitizing Payments. 1 year later, the Better Than Cash Alliance featured one crypto company on their website, Ripple. Today, Better Than Cash Alliance and all other UN initiatives are focused on a single agenda, the Sustainable Development Goals for 2030. You can see the SDGs logo on Bill Gates' lapel, world-leading companies, the Better Than Cash Alliance website, and on the UN's official exchange, Exchange. What crypto is Exchange officially utilizing for their carbon credit solution? XRP. The world will move to a new international standard for exchanging electronic messages between financial institutions by 2025 called ISO 20022. Who was the first ISO 20022 member focused on distributed ledger technology? Ripple. Who's partnered with over 300 financial institutions including Bank of America, American Express, PNC, Santander, SBI, HSBC, Standard Chartered Bank, Bank of England, India, Singapore, Scotland, Australia, and Indonesia, the largest banks in Japan, Canada, Egypt, the Middle East, United Arab Emirates, Thailand, Morocco, Bhutan, South Korea, Brazil, and Latin America? Ripple. Who is a former employee overseeing the Federal Reserve? Ripple. A former employee overseeing the world's largest asset manager, BlackRock's digital asset division? Ripple. Leading Australia's CBDC effort? Ripple. Who hired a former Treasury of the United States? Ripple. 2 former Federal Reserve attorneys to their board? Ripple. 2 former Clinton and Obama advisors? Former Minister of Defense and Economics of Germany? Former business director at Swift? Former Swift board member? Former CFO of PayPal? Former head of the DTCC? Former chief business officer at Uber? Former VP of Amazon and former SEC chair on their legal team? Ripple. Who's a member of the Digital Pound Foundation, Digital Dollar Project, Digital Euro Association, Mojaloop, IMF's high-level advisory board on fintech, Hyperledger Blockchain Consortium, Open Payments Coalition, Faster Payments Council, Global Payments Steering Group, Cross-Border Working Group, International Association for Trusted Blockchain Applications, Crypto Climate Accord, University Blockchain Initiative, World Wide Web Consortium, and a featured partner of the World Economic Forum with 3 members of their team directly listed on the WF website? Ripple. Now, does Ripple and XRP sound like they're going to disappear, or do they sound like they're part of a much bigger plan? You decide.